Hello and welcome to another Ragged's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Today I'm going to review Ruddles Best Country Ale. You may or may not be familiar. This basically you see two lots of Ruddles. This is Ruddles Best. Now my eyes, shocking. 3.7%. And you also see Ruddles County, which is in the green tins. Used to be in the green tins anyway. And a little bit stronger. I think it's either 4 or 5%. Both very good English, very good ales rather. Ruddles Best, round about the pound mark. Asda sell it. I think Morrison's sell it, and certainly Aldi sell it. Is it Aldi or is it Lidl? You know, you forget, don't you? I think it's actually Lidl. And yeah, decent ale. Had it before. Can't really remember. 3.7%. Can't really remember what it tastes like, so we'll pour it out and see how it goes. So, I did have a real ale website at one stage, and then a year or so ago I closed it because I wasn't really doing anything on the internet. But with all these reviews, the time has come to reopen the website. So, over the next few days, I'll be having a website that has all these reviews on, links to the Facebook pages and all that, and also articles about beers and wines and homebrew and that. So, you know, just something. Winter's coming up, so populate me time in winter. Won't be out in the garden, but it's interesting for me. It may be interesting for you as well, and you know. Telling you what the best kits are to buy, doing a bit of a review on the kits, but not actually probably me more on typing rather than on the camera, or I may do some on the camera, you know. So pours like a light copper, like a dark gold light copper colour, you know. Lovely white head on it. There is lacing there, or carbonation if you don't know what lacing it is. Same thing, just called something different. Just let it get into my palate before I tell you what it actually tastes of. So, let me go. Ruddles County. See if I can bring the website up and show you some of what they actually do. So you can get the Ruddles from Greene King. So it's amazing how the likes of Shepherd and Neame, Marston's, Greene King, there are a few other big companies. They control so much of the beer market. You know, beers that you may think are actually brewed by somebody else, they end up being owned and brewed by Marston's. So you got Ruddles County, like I said, in the green. That is really nice. You know, it's one of my favourite beers. That is. Always used to, you know, when I used to work at Sainsbury's, I used to, you know, if a 4-pack came in and one was bust and you had to sell the other 3, you have an area what they call tat, and what we had to do was wipe them off the system, then you generate more, you know, the one you've missed, and then that particular say there's 3 left or 2 left, because you never know, or even 1 left sometimes. But them other 3, if we could make a 4-pack up, we'd make a 4-pack back up, if we could. But if not, we'd do them singly. Some definitely like 50 pence a can. And I tell you what, wow, no wonder I accumulated at one stage such a mass of beers. I mean, at one stage, under my kitchen cupboards, I had, and then also buying them, you know, when they came on like beer festivals and that. But all my kitchen cupboards were covered in. The fridge had them in, on top of the fridge, and even we had a bookcase in the underneath the stairs, and I had crates of beer under there. I mean, nowadays nowhere near as bad. I've still got quite a stockpile, but it's more homebrew than actually go out and buying it. See if I can bring up Ruddles Best now. For some reason I couldn't bring it up on there. So Ruddles Best. Ruddles Best, there we go. So the colour, chestnut brown copper. Yeah, I did say a copper. It's nice that you're getting it right. You know, you look at it, you think, my eye's wonky. So the aroma is hoppy and floral. There is a hoppiness there, but not really strong, you know. Floral, same again, it's nowhere near strong. Taste is dry, bitter, fruity. There is a small fruitiness on that. Dry, yeah, I suppose it does leave your mouth, but you know, a bit of dry, bitter. Yeah, it's more akin to an old-fashioned bitter in some ways. Hey, don't turn around on me. Malt is pale crystal. Hops, Goldings, Challenger, Bramlin Cross. I've never heard of that one before. And Target. Perfect with Latin Cajun style dishes. It can mirror the style and flavour of this crisp, dry, fruity ale. So, let me bring up a review. Yeah, Morrison's do sell it for £1 as well. Beeradvocate.com, we'll go to them. A couple of mass beer sites that I look at for reviews. Not always the greatest, because obviously, like we all, you'll have something and you either love or hate it. You know, Marmite for one. Some people love it, some people hate it. So, whereas some would give it a 1 out of 5, some would give it a 5 out of 5. So, very hard, you know, on them websites to listen to all the reviews. So, on this particular website, 3.3 out of 5 is the aggregated review score, and they've classed it as okay after 23 ratings. Surprising, because it's been out a while, you know. Here's a good review, 3.23 out of 5, so low. Poured into a pint mug. A clear coppery amber colour. Yeah, I did say coppery gold amber. With plentiful carbonation. Forms a large head of frothy white foam that lasts for a minute or so before collapsing to a patchy surface lager. Layer rather. The smell. Aroma of distinctively fruity ale yeast with hints of caramel malt, mild barley sugar, subtle stewed hops, and a vague leafness. Traditional as in it's like a traditional bitter, you know, like you go to the pubs, bitters of old. I'm trying to think of other bitters of old. John Smith's, I suppose. You know, the original bitter. Bass ale, you know, there's another one. Them type of ales. Taste of fruity ale yeast with notes. Did I just say that? Oh yeah. Taste of fruity ale yeast with notes of caramel malt, mild grain, stewed hops, subtle hay, and a faint lingering earthiness. Slightly sweet, I don't think so. Followed by a moderately leafy bitterness upon swallowing. There's definitely a bitterness after. I'm glad they put it down, because I'm getting it, and I don't know. Sometimes just to see what they said with what I say. Mouthfeel is smooth, tingly and dry with a spritzy carbonation and a somewhat insubstantial body. Aftertaste of ale yeast esters, bitter stewed hops and caramel malt. A fairly average ale from Greene King. Looks okay, while the aroma and flavour are dominated by ale yeast, leafy hops and subdued malt. Lacklustre body. Reasonable character given the traditional style. The yeast helps it to stand out. A cheap ale that's worth a punt. And yeah, you know, it's one of them. For £1, you know, you can't go wrong for £1, can you? I mean, unless it's rancid. Man's brown ale. Now that is not nice, you know, and it is £1 or around about. Whereas Courage Bitter, which I've got a bottle somewhere, Marston's EPA, they're good pound ales because they're pound all the time, so you're never going to pay any more for them. But they are half decent ales, you know. They're not nothing out of this world, but sometimes you can get one that is. Anyway, let's drink this, see what we think. that aftertaste, you know, definitely a more traditional bitter. Yeah, there is a real, you do get a real twangy aftertaste. It's not unpleasant, it's just twangy, you know. Ooh. I wouldn't say this is a session IPA because that twanginess really does, you know you've had it. I wouldn't say it's the most pleasant beer out there, but not bad for the pound, I suppose. When I do Ruddles County, which is by far the better version of these Ruddles beers, that will be one of the high scorers, unless it's changed over the years. You know, you never know with big companies. As for this, to me, it's in that range where the John Smiths are, and the, you know, like your Copperies, Tetleys, traditional bitters that may sell well. You know, John Smith sells extremely well, but it's not a great beer. You know, by no means. It's just that a lot of people in this country just get used to drinking certain beers, whereas real ale drinkers and people who want something different and want to give the taste buds a bit of a try out, they'll move on and move up into, you know, different beers, stronger beers, you know, beers with flavour. I mean, the only thing that really gets me is that aftertaste. You know, it's a traditional bitter for what it is. Like I've said before, it's not really nothing special. You know, it's I'm glad I've reviewed it, but once I won't not bothered about getting it again. Don't taste as pleasant as I remember it. And you know, it's this thing where, because I'm tasting different beers every day, you come across a beer that you're used to, you've had before, and you're not so enamoured by it. You know, I had this with Parkin's Special from Sainsbury's, where it's a beer I absolutely loved. When I worked at Sainsbury's, God, I absolutely adored it. Fantastic real ale. And now, because I've drank so many different real ales, and quite a lot in a short space of time, it's actually 1 or 2 reviews a day, nothing silly. But yeah, you know, beers like this now, I'm finding out that the beers that aren't that great are showing up, you know. So for this, out of 5, we're going to give it about 3.8 out of 5. You know, it is nothing special. It's worth a try. You know, you got a spare quid on you, you know, in your budget, shopping budget, pick it up, have a go. And if you have a go and get it, see if you agree with what I've said. Very interesting to hear different people's opinions. Oh. And thanks for watching. See you soon.